So hey guys, welcome back once again, and in this video I'm gonna talk something about textual embeddings. First of all, let me tell you, one of my viewers just asked me why does it shows textual embeddings skipped and textual embeddings loaded. Does this mean that textual embeddings are not loaded? So let me tell you one thing, don't worry. First of all, I'm just gonna show you something about textual inversion embeddings. Okay, so let's get started. So before downloading any textual embeddings, you need to be clear that which model they are trained for. First of all, when you visit Civit AI website and you download any embeddings, you can clearly see that this chart turner is trained on base model Stable Diffusion 1.5. So it will only work on Stable Diffusion 1.5 trained models. Okay. So now as you can see on Empire Style as well, it is trained on Stable Diffusion 1.5 model only. So you need to be very clear that which base model it is trained for. Just like as you can see over here, Egyptian Sci-Fi model, Chempunk models, these are trained for Stable Diffusion 2.0 and further, as you can clearly see over here. Let me show you Viking Punk as well. You can see it is trained for Stable Diffusion 2.x on 768. So textual embeddings doesn't work on every model, so you need to be clear about this. So the next thing you need to know is that whenever you are loading automatic 111, it loads on the previous weights that you were using. As you can clearly see over here, it's using Protogen X53. It's loading on Protogen X53 photorealism weight. Okay. Now let's see which model does Protogen works on. As you can see clearly over here, Protogen works on base model SD 1.5. So whenever loading the models that you are using and which model it's using, okay, as Protogen X 5.3 uses Stable Diffusion 1.5, so it will only load the embeddings that are trained for Stable Diffusion 1.5, as you can clearly see over here. Now that my Protogen X53 model is loaded, let me quickly show you. Okay, first of all, I'm using Protogen X53 and let me show you if Viking Punks and all Viking Punk and Chempunk doesn't works on Stable Diffusion 1.5, so it will never load this. Okay, so now let's see, does it give results? Let's see, let's generate. So now as you can see over here, the results are not applied. As you can clearly see over here, let me show you. This is the prompt and this is the settings that we are using. And if the embeddings are applied, there is one more line over here. Let me show you a clear example of this. So now let me show you on Stable Diffusion 2.1 512 model. As you can see, I'm using the same prompt, Viking Punk and Chempunk 96. As I know, Viking Punk and Chempunk are trained for Stable Diffusion 2.x and further. So let's see, does it gives result? Now let me show you very quickly. So now as you can see, the effect are applied. Okay, the result is not bad. We are not considering about the result, but yeah, you can see Viking Punk is applied. Now as I said earlier, I said there is one line that is extra added when you used any embeddings. So this clearly shows that if the embeddings are used, it shows over here. Okay, if the embeddings are not used, it will never show on this line. Okay, it will only show this prompt and the settings that you are using. So make sure that if you're not aware that if the embeddings is working or not, you can clearly see over here. Now that I'm using Stable Diffusion 2.1, and now let's close this, and let's close this as well. Let's see if the embeddings are skipped or not. Okay, because earlier it loaded on Protogen X53, which was using Stable Diffusion 1.5 as a base model. Now let me clearly show you, as I have closed on Stable Diffusion 2.1 model. Now let's try to run web UI user.bat once again, as I've already closed it on Stable Diffusion 2.1, and let's see does it skips embedding or not. Earlier it was 25 embedding skip. Now let me show you that if it skips or not, and let's see which embedding does it skips. Now you can clearly see loading weights, Stable Diffusion version 2.1 512 non-EMA, and now you can clearly see over here Textual Inversion Embeddings loaded 25. Earlier it was skipping 25 embeddings, and you can clearly see 25 loaded and 3 skipped, as they are using Stable Diffusion version 1.5 as a based model. So this is very clear that you should know that which embeddings are trained on which base model. So this is the solution for this. Like, so if you see this like textual embeddings loaded and textual embeddings skipped, don't worry, you need to be like aware that which model it's loading. Okay, it only loads the previous model you closed on first of all, automatic 1111, and it only loads the embedding that are supported by the model. Okay, so this was very clear, and you should understand before downloading any embeddings that which base model it's working on. That's it for the video. It's nothing to be worried about, and you should know about this very clearly. Okay, So that's it for today, and I will be back with more and more videos tomorrow. Till then, have a good day and bye guys. Love you all guys. Bye guys.